SMU 35, Clemson 24. And okay, I don't want to take credit away from SMU. KJ's hobbled. He tweaks that ankle and he still is able to make plays. And he doesn't make a bunch of mistakes and he's able to lead them to a victory. The SMU defense really showed up. That secondary, I mean, they still, Vizina still was able to throw the ball, but the D line, them stopping the run, Clemson only running for 35 yards on 30 attempts is absolutely terrible. So I don't want to not give credit to SMU. 4 sacks, 8 tackles for loss. Like Jordan Hudson went crazy. SMU still hasn't lost an ACC regular season game. FSU would kill for that. But let's start Clemson here, Mac. I mean, that first quarter was some of the worst offensive football I've ever seen in Death Valley. And shout out to future All-American punter Jack Smith because he, I was concerned about the punter. I always am, Mac. And he's been the bright spot of this season because he can punt the ball. But it's got to be hard for, like, Mac, you talk about, we were talking about Miami or Louisville and some of the alums. Like, you played Clemson football. This has to be hard for you. So, yes, I experienced it firsthand, but you also were watching. Tell me what you're thinking.
Yeah, no, it is frustrating. It is.
Can you tell me what you're thinking?
Yeah, probably not.
No.
Yeah, I think that there's a couple of different ways to look at it. The first thing is quarterback was not your problem at all.
No.
Like Chris
Vizina
played
was fine.
very well.
I thought
very
it was
well.
good.
Thought it was a pretty good game plan for
Pretty
him.
good.
Thought he took care of the ball, through the air. Thought that some guys left him hanging dry. A couple of big drops. Times where he wasn't protected well. I thought the run game and sometimes when they were calling runs for him was just dumb plays.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have been called. The timing of the call, the where it was on the field. But I thought Chris Vizina played very, very well. And he should have. Like it's a poor pass defense. Like you should have, and you did. So good job. I hope that eases some Clemson fans. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. It eases my mind on next year of you can go to the portal if you want, but I think you have a guy that is good enough. And I mean, he made some throws I haven't seen Cade make this year, so that's interesting.
Nice.
It's interesting.
But Mac is good enough.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what it could look like better if he had a better offensive line.
But you're saying there's so many other issues.
So many other issues. And again, I'm trying to be delicate because it's a weird thing. It really is. But if there's any other team, that's what I say. That was the worst performance from an offensive line I've ever seen. Like
ever?
It was so bad. Maybe not ever. Maybe that's a lie.
From an offensive line that should be competent.
That should be good. Should be really good. And you talk about paying people. This offensive line coach making a lot of money. So it's interesting to me, like when it looked bad, how it looked bad. And here's the deal too, guys. Like I'm going to put this video out probably tomorrow. There's like 50 plays on it. Normally there's 20. There's 50. It is very bad football. And that's concerning. And maybe it's not concerning. You have 4 loss. Like I really don't care. But it's frustrating. It's really frustrating. And it shouldn't look that way, right? Like it shouldn't look like that. Have some pride. There's times, KG, there's times where, and even when I do this, like you're going to see who it is. I probably won't say their name just because I don't want to, pile on even more. But there's a time where a lineman is going to cut somebody, which I don't think they should have cut him anyway. And he just falls on the ground, doesn't touch anybody. Guy just walks over him and hits the quarterback. And I'm just looking like, how is this the product? Is there no one else? Like, is there nobody else that can do it? Like, that's where you are. So that was super frustrating to me. The fact that you were net 0 rushing yards in the second half and you ran the ball 16 times is embarrassing.
And you're not playing Miami. Like, no disrespect to SMU, but
they lost a lot of talent, and they have a bunch of guys that we had question marks. I remember walking in their facility. I won't tell you who said it, but they looked at me in my eyes and said, I don't know how we're going to play defense this year. They literally said that. And it wasn't Lashley, so I'm not going to give you any more details. and they dominated. Those guys played great, and
In
maybe
your
they've gotten better.
house.
Maybe they added some guys since then, but yeah, Clemson. I mean, it just looks incompetent, And again, just after watching the coaches copy, I'm just watching these plays, and I'm watching when they're called, where they're called, why they're called, and I'm just wondering, how did you watch film on SMU and this is what the game plan was? How did it equate to this? And I just think there's issues everywhere. I think there's a lot of issues. And Coach Swinney, said after the game that he knows or thinks or hopes like something good is going to come from this. And I think at the end of the day, the only thing that possibly could be is that he fully adopts something. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that is. I don't think he's going to sit here and kick out a third of the roster and go get new guys. I don't know if he's going to totally change the coaching staff. I don't know if he's going to give Tom Allen, who just came in as a coordinator, which doesn't really happen anywhere you look around the country. When a coordinator comes in, they're bringing people. They're bringing their coaches with them. I don't know if that means giving him the freedom to change the staff that he sees fit. I don't know if that's a change at offensive coordinator. I don't know if that's a change at other position coaches. I don't know. I do know there's no way that it's stagnant. I do know there's no way that everything stays the same. And I know that's hard too. I've never done it, obviously, but I know that that's the worst part of the job. Like telling someone who you ask to trust and to come in and to coach with you and you're with every day and you're doing all these things and you have to tell them you're not good enough. See you later. I know that that's the worst, but this is a business. This is a multi-billion-dollar business. This is a thing where people are paid a lot of money, now players included, to do your job. It's not just be a good person. It's not just graduate. And I wish it was. I truly do. But it's not anymore. And it has to be evaluated and criticized and done differently. And it's just tough. It's tough to do. And I hate that. I hate that we're in this position. I hate that I have to say things of this nature. I wish that the model would have been the model and, it is what it is, but it's not. And so that's tough. And that's a really difficult thing to grasp. But, I don't think I need to say this, but I still, undoubtedly, whatever, believe in Coach Dabo Swinney and think that he's one of the best minds and the greatest men and all these different things. And so, it just has to adjust. And you hope that it's sooner than not. It's crazy to sit here and think about this team that was number 4 in the country, that has the most returning production in all of college football back from a playoff ACC championship winning team from a year ago. And legitimately, I'm not joking, I don't know if they're going to a bowl game.
So that was my next question, Mac. Well, let's talk about that. But all that you've said there, to me, the one good thing that can come from this, from a football perspective, is that it truly forces Dabo to reevaluate everything. And if you don't reevaluate everything from a possible 5-7, 6-6 season, then I don't know what we're doing here. Right? Because
it's not fun. You're not having fun.
No.
It's not fulfilling. There's
people are going to stop coming. Like I was at the game and that was a pretty empty. The corners were nowhere near full. I mean, you're still drawing what, 65, 70,000 people to watch a 3-3 football team. Like the fan base is the fan base. But there was some boos, like in the first quarter, because the first quarter was absolutely terrible to watch. Bill Clemson, when you look at the rest of their schedule, Mac, that's the question people are starting to ask. Like, are you even going to make a bowl?
Well, I 100% think that the South Carolina game will be for the postseason.
Isn't it so crazy to think about these two teams that were so hyped up? Because South Carolina is probably going to be in the same situation. Both teams are going to be 5-6, fighting for bowl eligibility. When you look at the wins remaining, it feels like Florida State maybe is now a win, possibly. You're playing them at home, and Florida State seems to have given up. We'll get to them. Furman, South Carolina. I'm not sure you're beating Duke. I mean, not unless Duke just fumbles it 17 times like they do. You're not winning at Louisville. Like, sorry, you're not winning at Louisville. So it's just gonna be fascinating, Mac.
And it's frustrating. Yeah. Again, and like it hurts. It sucks. and I hate it. And I try to remove myself from it because it's,
I
it is,
know.
it's whatever. But it does. It's brutal, and it's brutal to watch. And I think like the other thing about losing at home like drives me nuts. Like you have got to protect that thing, and they haven't. They
Back-to-back
haven't.
home
And
losses
I
for the
don't want
first
to.
time
I don't
since
want to like
2008.
over. Yeah, yeah, it's brutal. Overreact and be like, I'm not calling it Death Valley anymore. Like all these things, but it's just I don't know. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And you say the thing about the rivalry, the South Carolina game. I don't remember if I've told you this or not. Maybe I shouldn't say it for everyone to hear. But literally, one of the last things because I love Shane Beamer. I like him a lot. Things will be at Virginia Tech soon. Can't wait. Hope that happens. We'll
Ooh,
love him a lot more.
interesting.
Um, but I remember texting him just saying, "Hey, good luck this year, except for Thanksgiving, whatever." And was just like, let's make the state of South Carolina the center of the football world. Whoops.
Nope.
Whoops. Neither one of us held up our end of the bargain. So it's
No.
unbelievable. Like it's comically, unbelievably bad. And who knows? I don't know why
That's a
we
good
even
way to
talked
put it.
about this so long. This is probably the last time. Maybe the last time.
Yeah, let's move on. We'll move on, Mac.